SAO the final season, but is it really the end of SAO? So what's up guys, Foxen here. The final SAO season is coming up really soon. So juicy SAO topic today, non-spoiler. This is going to be looking at what's possible after SAO Alicization is done. You actually have a few options. So if you love SAO, use your dual blade on that like, subscribe and let's take a look. But really quickly, this video is sponsored by Bookwalker. Definitely check them out after for a sweet discount for SAO and all your sekai needs. First off, the SAO anime season 1. That covered about 4 light novels. Technically, it took that murder case short story, although it heavily changed it for the anime. Not to mention you had stuff cut out or heavily abridged. All of this was squeezed into 25 anime episodes for the first SAO season, which is why you have the first option. SAO Progressive is just waiting to be adapted into an anime. This is really the SAO Reboot or SAO being fleshed out floor by floor. As of this video, there's 6 light novels. The star of this would be taken from the first SAO light novel. In other words, whatever appeared in the first SAO episode. On top of this, you have to add this important short story that the anime cut out. Recall Kirito running out, killing that wolf? What followed soon after that actually didn't make it into the anime, which means right now you have the basis for the first 2 episodes of this future SAO reboot. Episode 1. It may sound like it sucks, but it mostly would be a copy of the first SAO episode. At the very least, SAO would be getting a facelift with higher quality animation. Episode 2. Whatever happened to Kirito after he left the main town. This actually showed Kirito using his beta knowledge to get a super hit start plus get a pretty strong blade, which actually included a beta tester trying to get Kirito killed. What makes this even more important is that it's actually referenced in future SAO events. And yes, I do think this might not be enough for an entire second episode, but how about using the time wisely? Perfect time to start the new SAO. Flesh out the juicy world a little bit, the skill system, and anything else right here. So, SAO Progressive, you got 6 SAO books. Just going by the original SAO Season 1, 4 books gave you 25 episodes. Perfect. This should mean 6 books would give you around 36 or more episodes. But hold up. As a hardcore SAO fan, you might have recalled me mentioning how the anime has cut out a lot from the SAO anime. Whether that was cutting out important details for SAO or the Underworld, or axing or abridging very important character dots. SAO Alicization has arguably been the best about this, but even then, SAO Season 3 still suffers from this. And let me quickly point out, pretty much every light novel turned anime has suffered from this. That includes some other popular isekai like ReZero or Konosuba. Which is why I do hope with this SAO reboot that A1 Pictures tries their damn best to actually flesh out the SAO world, and also the characters as they should be. A really great comparison might be My Hero Academia Season 4 from the same anime season. The pacing for My Hero Academia could give you an example of how the anime might look. You still have battles and quick moments, but at the same time, you very much know or get the feeling for a given character's point of view. Let me also acknowledge, unfortunately completely trying to bring every single detail into the anime would be nearly impossible. Even if the anime studio was crazy enough to try that, it would most definitely severely slow down the anime. Good chance of making it downright unenjoyable. I do potentially see if A1 Pictures slows down the pace to capture this truer version of SAO, previous fans of the quicker paced or flashy SAO season might be turned off. Just to give you a rough idea of what that may look like, the first 4 to 6 episodes, that would tackle the first floor events plus the floor boss. The next 4 to 6 would then tackle the second floor events plus the floor boss there. That's right, there's a lot more going on than fighting the almighty bosses. Floor 1 and 2 are all stuff from the very first SAO Progressive story. 12 episodes may be stretching this stuff out too much. Around 8 to 10 episodes sounds better. That would potentially give you 6 to 8 episodes per light novel. Even if you take the lower limit, that still gives you around 36 episodes, up to 48. I would strongly advise them to consider this carefully. Which brings up the first issue of this SAO sequel or reboot option. Unfortunately, Reki is releasing SAO Progressive at a super slow pace. He averages less than 1 new volume per year. The last new one was actually back in 2018. Depending on how they stagger the first 6 floors worth of content, this might actually give Reki more time to release future volumes. I would personally hope it would encourage him to speed this up a bit. I do want to see most of this before I go under. Even if you take the worst case scenario, that they ignore everything I just hoped for and explained, 6 SAO books with SAO Season 1 quality would still be around 30 episodes. But wait, there's a second problem, the manga. SAO Progressive is a light novel first, but it actually does have a manga version. First off, as a positive, I really love the art style here. If you can ignore the dialogue and some scenes, the SAO Progressive manga is a great way to get visuals for the actual light novel content. But then the downside. The manga is actually similar to the anime, except worse. The SAO manga almost feels like freaking fanfiction. It has all the worst parts that SAO haters love to hate on, and what certain SAO fans mistakenly downgrade the series into. My fear would be A1 Pictures heavily leaning towards using this questionable manga as a reference first. And don't get me wrong, it's not completely awful. Besides the great art, I do actually like some of the changes or new details added to the manga. Anyway, let me know how you feel. Are you craving an SAO reboot soon? Next option, SAO Moon Cradle. Without diving into the spoiler details, you could think of Moon Cradle as a side story set in the Underworld. This was released after the SAO World of Underworld stuff, so naturally it should be perfect once the so-called SAO final season ends. Except you guessed it, an issue. The first one is that Cradle Moon is only 2 volumes long. This means you really only have content for 4 to 8 episodes depending on how they make this into the anime. I previously had mentioned the possibility of potentially turning this into a new SAO movie, but honestly, I don't think the story for Cradle Moon could be justified as something movie worthy. Although, a great alternative would be something similar to ReZero. So far, ReZero has done 2 different OVA specials. While technically not movies, they did get a theater release. Definitely something to consider. Now getting into the actual 2 potential issues. The first, a minor one. Moon Cradle is a short story focusing not really on Kirito, but Roni. Yes, Kirito and Asuna play a part here, but their roles are smaller. Roni and her best buddy Tisei get more of a spotlight. This is part of the reason why I don't think a movie really works. Definitely try the OVA route. Then the bigger issue. Unfortunately, the mystery and some plot points that began in Moon Cradle are not resolved by the end of the 2nd volume. I do believe Reki wants to get back to this one day, but that is still pending. Some of the SAO fans are disappointed with this, and that'll surely carry over to the anime version of Moon Cradle. Next option, SAO Unital Ring. In case you're hearing this for the first time, this is supposed to be the final arc for SAO. I did do a video covering the intro for that arc, but for this video just know that it's very early on into the new story. Only 3 volumes are out right now. The latest one came out a few months ago. I mean, even if you somehow get an anime going, you only got enough for like 12 episodes. The anime studio or guys in charge should definitely realize that is way too soon. Even if you assume best case scenario, Reki releasing 2 a year, a possible anime is still like 3+ years away. And trust me, that fucking sucks. But what do you think? Do you want them to release SAO Season 4, only to wait years for the next part? Option 4, did someone say SAO Spinoff? Oh yes, I'm talking about bringing back Ren and her best blonde buddy. Honestly, I had my own issues with it, but their little SAO GGO tale was surprisingly enjoyable. It also came out of nowhere. Right now, that spin-off adventure has 10 books out. And don't worry, I'm not going to get into another in-depth breakdown, but just know there is enough for another short season. Really, this wouldn't be my preference for something SAO related, but if the SAO team doesn't have anything planned already, just go with this easy option. It really is a no-brainer. My only request would be to bring a much bigger studio. Clearly, the original studio was biting off more than they could chew. Why not go back to Daddy with A1 Pictures? Just a thought. Option 5, some SAO short stories. There actually are quite a lot of side stories for Aincrad, or the SAO story that never made it into the anime. These side stories happen much later, in floors that SAO Progressive doesn't cover. SAO Light Novel 22 is actually a great example of this. It has 4 stories bundled together. One is a sequel to the SAO Extra Edition. 2 other ones are actually Kirito and Asuna focused. One taking place on the day right after he proposed. And the last one is a fun one. You could actually think of it as a prequel to Yuki. And yes, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna kill for this, but I would throw so much money at them to make this into an anime, and those are only 4 examples. Naturally, you do have some issues. All of these are separate stories. A good option might be going the theater special route, perhaps expand some of this into an hour length or so. And yes, I know some of you are wondering, they have done the SAO Extra Episode Edition before, but I got a feeling there's a much higher chance, plus money to be made with the short theater release. A much wilder option? Perhaps a new short SAO anime season. Each episode could adapt a different short story in the SAO timeline. I do think a lot of you would be for this, but I highly doubt there's much of a chance with that. Next option. Hey, talking about movies. How about a new SAO movie? SAO Ordinal Scale was a completely new movie created in between Season 2 and Season 3. You even had SAO Alicization that got updated with some of the Ordinal Scale stuff. In between SAO Season 3 and SAO Unital Ring, there actually is a short time period where Reki could squeeze in some Kirito and Asuna quickie. The problem with this, and I do have to apologize for bringing up issues, first off, would Reki even want to do this? The guy is a super busy guy. On top of SAO, he's also working on other light novels. And more important, this will be yet another thing happening to Kirito and the gang right after their latest adventure. I don't know if you'd want to go through the trouble of working around future plot points just to fit in this short story. It did work with the last SAO movie, but Kureki bring in the magic touch again. Option lucky number 7. How about a what if SAO story? Yes, these type of stories do exist. They could even reach over to a different canon from all of the various SAO games. For example, straight out of the upcoming SAO game, what if Hyujo never died? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't mind seeing a different route taken for the anime. On top of this being non-canon or a separate timeline, that would actually give the anime studio much more freedom. So definitely let me know which SAO option would you like? Which SAO sequel would be awesome? Naturally, for me, I do want to see SAO Progressive. Moon Cradle is also a great option. I think I'm also warming up more and more to that what if anime route. Just make SAO like Fate. By the way, a special thanks to Bookwalker. Definitely check them out, especially if you love SAO. That's where I'm reading all my SAO books. They have all the English SAO, even going past the anime. If you love Asuna and Kirito, you gotta read SAO Progressive. Plus, use my code Foxen to get $5 off. It is a win-win-win. You get some SAO, you help to support the channel, and SAO at the same time. But anyway, bonus question. Forget about best girl, who is best boy in SAO? Come on, Klein fans, time to stand up. Definitely subscribe for more SAO. Go ahead and check out my video going over every SAO goddess, or how Kirito wakes up. And I'll see you guys later.